Alright, here we are back at camp and opening up another episode with a fun conversation with a party member that I totally missed the beginning of. And now Alistair is going to yell at us. I told you he'd be yelling at us in this episode. So here's the cheat I have, which is a bug in this conversation. So if you choose, I think it turned out quite well, don't you? He'll actually act as if you'd saved everyone. So, yeah, but if you don't do this conversation right, you can actually lose, I think, up to 40 approval from him, depending on the choices you made back in Redcliffe. So, I think it turned out quite well, don't you? Never mind.
Connor.
Disregard everything.
Little boy, how could you do that?
Never mind. Maybe it was like just if, maybe it was just if you let Isolde do the blood ritual, cause I know I have used this before and it has worked. But I haven't killed Connor before. So, let's not go with that one. I did not enjoy it.
You could have let the Alistair sacrifice herself.
Yeah, ugh!
Lady Isolde is the one who started all of it, isn't she? Blood magic or no, if one of them had to die, it should have been her. This is the Jarl's son we're talking about here. What do you think he'll say when we revive him?
He was possessed by a demon. I don't know, maybe you're right. Do you want to go back? We can't. Well, we could. Theoretically, we could go back and reload again, and the game would probably crash again, though. And we'd be stuck in a loop of crashing, which I did not enjoy. But maybe you're right, I don't know.
I just don't know how you could do it, how you could make that decision. I owe the Jarl more than this.
So, this is about you and him and not me at all.
No.
I'm smart.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I suppose it's done, isn't it? And it'll have to be enough. Oh, why am I getting on your back about it? You did what you had to. It's just... all this death. Never mind. Let's just stop there before I do more than shove my foot in my mouth like an idiot.
-6. Not that bad. Alrighty. Yay. Speaking of alistair. There we go. Yep. Wait. We've got some presents.
I could get used to this, you know.
Yay.
This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it?
Are you sure it's your mother's?
I suppose there might have been other amulets like these made. But I've never seen any others. It looks very old.
About 10 to 11-ish years old. I found it in the study in Castle Redcliffe.
Oh, the Jarl's study?
Yeah.
Then he must have found the amulet.
No, in Connor's
after I
study.
threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that?
Maybe you meant more to him than you thought.
I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left...
Aw.
Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... when he recovers, that is.
Oh.
I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Ho, ho, ho. See this gesture I'm making?
Okay, we're
Can you
friends
hear
again,
that?
good. Yay, friends again!
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I have something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
Logan will get what's coming to him, I assure you. We're
No,
gonna
I
fight
know
him.
that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh.
The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only I never knew about
You
her.
never mentioned a daughter.
I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim.
Have you contacted her?
No. I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
If you want to, we could try. Well, no, not that one. This one.
Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
We will be in the area soon, actually. Once we start our Sacred Ashes quest. Anything else we can talk to him about?
Something on your mind?
Ooh,
Of
we're
course.
to that point. Yay, okay. What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
Yes. You've been a Grey Warden longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
Yeah, just try that on me.
I can think of much better lines for you.
Wait, what? Was that like a pre-pickup line pickup line? Oh, I could flirt with you so hard. Like, woo. But, anyway, yeah, back to the point.
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving.
Castle?
I'd
What?
slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would
Wait, where were the Grey Wardens located
and
before
laugh
Ostagar?
themselves to tears.
So it was a joke. Yeah, the entire joining is a joke.
More like an initiation. They all went through it too. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
Once every Grey Warden gets to a certain age, he'll begin to notice changes in his body, or her body. Wow, that was not expected of me. But they'll begin to notice changes in their body. And like increased appetite and strange urges, like the urge to like just decapitate every darkspawn. His time has come. That sounds bad.
That's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age.
Fuck.
You've got 30 years to live, give or take.
Fuck.
The taint. It's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Orzammar? So I'm going to. Well, I was going to die anyway. I was dying
You'll
anyway.
always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. There you have it.
Yeah, I think that's Korra's gonna like end up becoming really reckless with things, like just because like, well, I'm dying anyway. I was dying to begin with, you know, like, yeah, she's gonna like end up with a kind of attitude where she's like, I was dead the moment I stepped foot in that cave with Tamlin. Like, I understand, I was dying anyway.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
You'll be remembered, Alistair. We all will. They all will.
Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
So yeah, that's actually like one of my more fun headcanons. Not the dying in the deep roads part, but like the how he mentions the Grey Wardens are able to tap into the Darkspawn hive mind. Well, I kind of like to imagine that they can actually like use that as a means of communication among themselves, and then they treat it a bit like a group chat. You know, like, so like imagine just like laying awake trying to go to sleep, but your brain's doing like trying to go to sleep things, and you're just like having totally incoherent thoughts when all of a sudden you're like, do birds feel guilty about the bugs they eat? And then all of a sudden in your head there's like 15 other voices screaming, oh my god, shut up. And that is one of my favorite Dragon Age headcanons. We had more to talk about Alistair with, didn't we?
Something on your mind?
Yes. More questions. If you were in the Chantry, have you never...
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
Exactly. Well, you know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Have I never seen a basilisk? Ate jellied ham? Have I never licked a lamppost in winter?
I like these euphemisms. Okay, now you're making fun of me.
Make fun of you, dear lady.
No.
Perish the thought. Well, tell me, have you ever licked a lamppost in winter?
That's like my favorite part of the game, honestly. It's all downhill from here. Yes, I've licked a lamppost.
Just the once?
In summer.
And you didn't lose half of your tongue in the process?
It wasn't winter, though.
I, myself, never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it.
Fucked so hard my tongue fell out, you know?
But, you know.
The pleasure. You've never had the opportunity.
Well,
benefit of the doubt here.
Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad.
I somehow find that hard to believe. Not really, no.
Good. You want a gentleman to court you, wouldn't you? If you were
No.
to be courted by someone, that is.
Fuck. Not really my type.
Ah. Well said.
I mean, if the gentleman were
Enough.
like,
I don't want to talk about
take
this
out the
anymore.
man part,
Let's go.
cool. I mean, but like, oh, sorry, pal. More presents.
Is that for me?
Yes, it is.
Really? Wow.
And this is also for you.
Wow.
Do I need to give these gifts at this point? Nah. Oh well, though.
Really?
Change your amulet.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say. That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
Yep. That's all for now, for her. Anyway, more Alistair.
Something on your mind?
Oh yeah, there goes the romance options. Not romancing him.
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
I just thought you might need to talk.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me
Aw,
right
buddy.
from the beginning this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
What about the other wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for their... when they fall in battle. The Dalish don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We bury them and plant a tree over their remains. It's pretty.
That sounds quite beautiful. Life springing from death. Thank you.
Alright there, Shakespeare.
It means a lot to me.
Anytime, Alistair. Pal.
Something on your mind?
I have more
Of
questions.
course.
Just one more conversation, right? Yeah. What was it like to be a warden with all the others?
I didn't know them for very long. But I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you?
Nope.
They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family, since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
Were there any elves?
Just one, a man named Terramel. He kept to himself mostly. I got the impression that his life before the Grey Wardens was unpleasant.
That's believable.
There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfels. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen.
You didn't even remember his
When the
name.
man could drink, he drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
Sounds like fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly...
Sounds fun. I'm sorry, this is hard.
Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
Oh, no, not at all.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it.
We could go back
It's gone.
to Ostagar.
Let's just go.
Suppose you could say we could return to Ostagar. Haha. That's actually going to be totally blind for me. Oh yeah, new companion.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest.
Yeah, it has.
Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
I thought you were. No, you're a human.
Ha,
You're
very
a spring
funny.
human.
But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time. But there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
What? Well, I'm sure you'll be kicking for years.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Come on, we need you.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Well, there was Connor.
Ah, yes.
That went so well.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them.
I wouldn't say
that
easily,
frightened me the most.
but you're a great mage. You can never become an abomination.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone, replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
I think they can. If you retain your humanity, then you're not an abomination. Not true, but...
Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they...
This is relevant information, by the way.
then they are not an abomination.
Just for the record.
I never saw that.
Man, I would be totally not have an issue playing a mage if you could, like, become an abomination in the game. Like, that'd be sweet. I wish you could.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
It means killing lots and lots of Darkspawn.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden.
It means
than
not
killing
dying.
Darkspawn,
Yet.
saving the world from the plague.
Not dying yet.
Ultimately,
Considering we just talked about that with
being a Grey
Alistair.
Warden is about serving
Yeah.
others, about serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
So I serve as a protector.
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men.
So as a
And
protector.
you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I kind of wish I could be served instead.
Oh, but you are. Your king serves you, does he not?
He's dead.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost.
Okay,
The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled
maybe
to
you
his
should be
power,
having this
who
conversation with
abuses
Alistair.
it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
I don't want power. I never wanted power.
If you live apart from others and your actions affect only you,
Okay, yeah,
then
she's
you
just
may
like
do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and
going into her
strength,
speech and
your
like
every
nothing I
action
say
will
is
be
going to
as
change what she's
water
saying
in
back.
a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough
Yeah, and
for
Korra's
today.
like,
I should
yeah,
stop before I wear
sure.
out my welcome.
Ripples in a pond. Yeah, that, I understand whatever that means. What?
Is there something you need?
Why didn't you stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
But what about the kids?
Yes, I did leave them. But if the Blight is not stopped, all of them will face suffering greater than what was seen in the tower. The Grey Wardens,
True.
all 2 of you, need all
Yeah,
the
all
help
2 of
you
us.
can get. I will see this through to the bitter end. And after that, if I am still left
How many
standing,
Grey Wardens does
then
it take
I
to
will
end the
return
Blight?
to the circle.
2. One to hold the light bulb, and the other to turn his legs. Ha 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 ha. I just wanted to make sure you really wanted this.
No, of course I don't. I'm old and unsure of what I'm doing. Actually, I'd rather be in a warm chair in the sun, being served pudding or some other easily digestible food.
Me too. Well, that can be arranged.
Well, get on it then, and make sure there's a blanket in my chair, and that it's soft, and that the pudding doesn't have cream on it. Cream gives me gas.
I really like Win. Alright. Hey there, who are you?
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
Do you need anything?
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Ooh, runes. Speaking of runes, enchantment.
Enchantment?
Enchantment.
Enchantment!
Enchantment! Um. Let's do this. And then this. Let's do this and this. Uh-huh. And now, let's give them these. So yeah, you actually get experience from that.
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness of your followers.
Oh yeah, let's get Win outfitted. Uh-huh. Wrong. Dang, okay. Wait. Which one is... Okay, this one, I think. Uh-huh. This one? Alright. Let's get Win equipped. Alright. Oh, that's what she was wearing to begin with, wasn't it? Wait. I know they have the robes I'd like to put her in. Somewhere down here. Was it this one? I think it was. Yeah, here we go. I just think they look good on her. Alright, and her staff. Yeah, that works. Okay. Yeah, I won't spend too much time on that. Put these back. Ooh. Damn, those are some, like, expensive. These are all the mages I'm gonna get, so... May as well. Who else are we gonna talk to? Yeah, Liliana.
I must say that traveling with you has opened my eyes to how wrong some are about the Dalish. You are not at all savage.
This one.
And I've not seen you snatch away women and children without provocation.
Without provocation. Disappointed?
No, of course not. I am just saying that many believe such awful things about the Dalish. If my people
Do
were
you
more
want
open
to start
interacting
kidnapping
with
children?
us, could
We
do
have
away
killed a
with such
child.
misperceptions.
Yeah, last time that happened, it didn't end too well.
I know humans and elves do not share a happy history, but peace must be possible. I hear many city folk talk about how wonderful it must be to live simpler lives, close to the earth. They could learn from the Dalish.
So, they're like, ah, shit. The past was so much better. When we, like, ate bugs and didn't have fire or whatever. I want to go back. Oh, you do certainly live close to the earth.
How marvelous that must be.
No,
I have met very few elves. And
it's
those
just
that I
life,
have met
you know.
were pledged to the service of Orlesian nobles.
That sounds horrible.
Elven servants are well compensated for their services. Some of them live richer lives than humans.
That,
A well-trained
okay.
elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous,
Okay,
and many
that's...
people find them pleasing to look at.
This is getting uncomfortable. So should I offer myself to some Norwegian noble? I'm not gonna. Definitely.
No, I did not mean it that way.
Fuck Orlais.
My words were clumsily chosen. I did not mean to offend. I am sorry.
Well, you may not be cruel, but you still see us differently. You're still, like, holding racial prejudices.
I did not realize that. It is so strange how long-held beliefs just seem natural and right. Like there is no other way to feel. Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about.
Alright, when can we have lesbian conversations?
I
Oh, hey, here we are.
I really like the way you wear your hair.
My hair, thanks.
It's very nice and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, Feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live
Oh,
sunbirds
God.
in her voluminous hair.
Oh,
Chirping
God.
was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Poor birds.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice
Ew.
to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that
I mean, I understand
feel
you're
so
not supposed to
comfortable talking
overwash
to
your
you
hair, but like
that
never
I could
washing
say
it?
anything and you
Yeah.
wouldn't judge me.
Oh, wouldn't I? Maybe I just keep it to myself. Haha.
You see? You play along with me. Not many will do that. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
And do you often enjoy the company of other women?
And what would you do if I said I do? Very much so, in fact.
Yes. I might like start fist pumping all over. I think I might giggle a little bit.
You must do that then. Perhaps later when I'm not prepared for it. Surprise me.
Yes.
Come then, let's get going. If I recall correctly, you have some important earth-shattering business to attend to.
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Something you need?
Let's have more lesbian conversations.
Yes? What's on your mind?
So why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
So yeah, there's actually a DLC about how Liliana came to Ferelden, which we will be doing later. What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Well, if you were just a little kid, then that's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace.
Andraste's
They were very
Grace?
rare in Orlais.
Hey, we found
But
one of those
enough
back in
about that.
Redcliffe.
Let us move on.
Again, do a little romantic gesture. Like a lesbian.
Flowers? For me? They're beautiful.
Smell them.
These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering.
Aww. There was one more to have with
The
her,
stars
right?
are out.
Yeah, finally.
It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally. Their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier?
Never heard it. I don't know many stories.
Well, I will tell you this one. A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them.
Makes sense.
One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him.
That was fast.
When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier.
The stars are not made of tears. That's beautiful. They're not made of
This
tears.
story is one of my favorites. A tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist?
Well, it might exist. I don't think it's common, though.
I think I would be lucky to experience an emotion even half as pure and true as Elindra's love.
That's kind of unspecific. Gal pals here. Friendship is a kind of love, too. We should all be so lucky.
The world gets lonely too quickly if there is no one to share it with.
Aww.
Looking for little old me?
Yeah.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral.
You had me until the chant. It sounds gorgeous, except for the chant.
It would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
That must have been a big change.
I left behind much, leaving Orlais, but there is more to life than dresses and furs. It is sad that many have lost sight of this. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
I agree, honestly. I love shoes. I do. Korra doesn't even wear shoes. Were they ridiculous shoes?
Sometimes. About 10 years ago, all the ladies went mad for shoes with soles as large and heavy as bricks. But it isn't always that silly. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front, a ribbon perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
No, apparently for a while there, it was a trend in China. Or somewhere. Maybe China? I can't quite remember where it was. But to wear really, chunky platform shoes. It was a while ago, long time ago. But the trend was, big chunky platform shoes. And in the platforms of your shoes were goldfish. Yep. I mean, it died pretty quickly because of, animal cruelty, but, Wouldn't that be hard to walk in?
I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room? Perfect.
Exactly.
The shoes made in Olay were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh.
I like those
Look at
boots. I like clunky boots. You keep the cold out.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we? Looking for little old me?
Yeah, one more.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
I don't remember.
Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards.
Is there a difference?
Many use the two words
Well,
minstrel
evidently there
and
is.
bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
What kind of patron?
Nobles, mostly.
Of course, that
In
makes
Orlais,
sense.
there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You know a lot about these bards, don't you?
And I shouldn't I, after having spent most of my adult life as one? You've guessed as much, I'm sure. But does it really matter what I was? What's past is past.
Man, that sounds too exciting to leave.
The excitement of the life wears off very quickly, I'm afraid. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Wait, are there more
Looking
conversations
for little old me?
about the bards?
Yes? What's on your mind?
I know I said just one more. Never mind. Nothing. Yeah, just one more. Uh-huh. Now let's talk to Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Never mind. Damn, do I not have, like, enough approval from her to even ask about the grimoire? Oh well. We shall solve this.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
Alright.
What do you wish of me?
Never mind. Weird.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? Ever since we discovered the condition of the Mage's Tower, I had wondered if it might be recoverable, but I had yet to speak of it to you. How fortunate that you found it on your own. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately.
And what do you hope to find?
Secrets.
Of course.
My mother has many of them, and this tome represents the one time that they were able to get away from her. I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting. At your command.
So living in the wilds must have been pretty lonely.
At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
And did they speak back?
Don't be foolish.
Well, I'm just
I recall
saying.
the first time I crept beyond the edge
Sometimes
of the
trees can
wilds.
talk.
I did so in
You don't
animal
know.
form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted
So you're
in
some
gold
kind
and
of
crystalline
sneaky witch
gemstones,
thief.
and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
So you were a sneaky witch thief. Can't imagine she was pleased.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
They made you stronger, didn't they?
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Alright. I think that's it. Oh, no, wait. Wait. Puppy!
Oh, why, you little...
What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he is a war dog. Grr.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I once heard a really old legend about how the hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Aw. Hey. Now, puppy. I'll never feed you another human.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it.
Sure. Okay. Still kinda icky, though. Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess that's about it for this conversation episode of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. Next time, we will be beginning our Urn of Sacred Ashes quest and going to Dinnerim. So hope to see you there.